Well, as many of you know, Mitch McConnell is still missing. Now, help me understand this. He's supposed to be healthy and happy. This is what they're saying. He's a healthy, happy man. He's a healthy, happy 83-year-old man who's been in the hospital for 7 weeks. Why are Americans having a problem with this? The war is expanding. We don't like to see that. We want this nightmare to come to an end. We don't like war. War is bad. We want peace, love, and harmony. Of course, Lindsey Graham has passed. We've talked about that. And of course, many world leaders have come to the rotunda to pay their respects to Lindsey Graham, one of those being Zelensky. Of course, Zelensky had fond things to say about Lindsey Graham because Lindsey Graham had taken it upon himself to, with all of his flaws and imperfections, the bottom line is that Lindsey Graham did go to Ukraine. He did put his ass on the line to go to Ukraine and to fight the good fight. And so I think that what we learned from Lindsey Graham's life is that it was a complicated life. He was a complicated person. He lived a complicated life. And sadly, he harkened back to a time when Republicans and Democrats used to be able to agree on things and get bills passed. And he had a great relationship with Joe Biden. They were close at one point. It was really sad to see how he had moved from being a moderate Republican into something different. And of course, we do appreciate the work he has done in Ukraine. Send condolences to his family, but I feel like good energy is coming to the world. I know that people are terrified with artificial intelligence. We just talked about taking over everything, including control over our lives in ways we may not want. That can be absolutely scary. I totally get it. But the cards, believe it or not, for the future are quite optimistic. For example, the base card here is the Six of Cups. I'm going to go ahead and predict that there is a nostalgia that's beginning to sweep the country where people are going back to the basics. They're trying to get back to the simple life. That's certainly true here in Oregon. People are knitting and crocheting and they're growing vegetables. And I transplanted my pomegranate seedlings. One or two of them died. Thank God I had 5 that were viable. One's doing pretty good. But we have this kind of return to the garden, Six of Cups, and this beautiful romantic energy coming in. And the Karma card is 3 of Cups. And I've always seen 3 of Cups as an armistice card and dancing in the streets, as Linda G likes to say, you know, where it's just this good feeling and this good vibe and celebration. It's also a really beautiful card when I think about women's energy and female power. Where we are at right now has to do a lot with the balancing of the budget and making sure that the economy is stable. There's a lot of focus on that happening right now. I know the Feds are talking a lot about interest rates, not raising interest rates, etc. The first house is the Seven of Pentacles. No surprise there. So we have the Seven of Pentacles coming in the first house over what's going to be going on in the next couple of weeks. A real focus on the economy and also a desire to go back to the good old days, this kind of back to the garden. And the karma is good, 3 of Cups, like I said. Armistice is coming. Our crossing card at this time indicates a transition, a period when many of us are going to be changing our jobs, changing our investment. People could be pulling out of crypto, for example, buying gold instead or selling gold and buying stocks instead. But there appears to be a shuffling or transition or change in investing that's coming up in the future, and that could have a positive influence overall on the economy. That seems to be what they're saying. Also, another auspicious card we have moving into the 4th house. And the 4th house are the things that we are manifesting. What we see we are manifesting is economic stability. right? And smoother waters lay ahead. I read swords as years, and so when I see 6 swords, it tells me that for many years to come, we will see smooth waters. We see some nice investment moving in here, and a transformation over the economy brings peace, harmony, good feelings, and going back to the garden. Let's get back to organic living, man. Some of organics is good. Some is not. I don't like mosquitoes and fleas, right? There are things about nature that are not so great, right? Scorpions. But there's a lot of great stuff about the natural world, and we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's some great things about air conditioning. There's some great things about not getting eaten up by mosquitoes. Those citronelle candles and all that. The benefits of modern living, air conditioning, heat, appliances that can warm our food, right? So there are things about modern living we love, but there is this kind of feeling of renaissance I can't help but notice here with that 6 of Cups. I love this energy coming in also. We have a 6 of Pentacles moving into 6th position. I think we need to be thinking a lot about that, because that could indicate that we have assistance coming from the government, right? So yeah, so this could indicate justice and economic justice, and it could indicate that the government is starting to move towards assistance, particularly for those that are vulnerable. The Republicans are going to have to make concessions, or they're not going to have any constituents left. Love to see 6 of Pentacles moving into 6th position, because that would be near future, and it would indicate an attempt to balance the budget in ways that are fair and just. And the 7th house immediate is 3 of Swords, heartbreak. People are scared, they're frightened, they're stressed out. They can't afford groceries right now. They're terrified about the war, terrified about family members that could be caught up in the war. It's just a genuine feeling of heartbreak over the nation. The poverty. People have jobs, but their dollars are just not going as far as they used to. A real 3 of Swords energy here. Something has got to give. Remember, we had talked about trade routes quite a bit, and how the supply chain is being negatively impacted. It is having a huge impact on the cost of things. So I like seeing this kind of economic relief, which is what it looks like. And the house of opposition is 8 of Cups. Those who oppose us will walk away from the battle. This looks like a really good victory for justice, for economic stability, good times ahead. And when you see the house of opposition, the other that we have had challenges with walks away. That's very interesting. It means that for now, economically, we could be winning this battle. Hopes and fears to take control of the situation and the final outcome. Unfortunately, I do see the war escalating. This is something that I have talked about in the past, and that's because the Knight of Wands is a war card. It is the Mars card. It is the Aries card, and it's associated with the power as well. But with that 8 of Cups coming in, I think that we will win. And again, we have 6 months again coming into 7th position, leads me to think that within the next 6 months, we will see an end to the war and justice falling in the house of the opposition. Hopes and fears. Again, the earth, economic stability. We have these mega storms that are hitting, and people are very frightened for Japan right now. Be patient over all things. This too shall pass. Take care of yourselves, your friends, and your family, and know that things are going to be okay. This too shall pass. Of course, we send our prayers to everybody who's in the way of the typhoons that are hitting right now. And just take care of each other. Know that there are some rocky times ahead, but that things really do appear to suggest that we are moving overall in a positive direction within the next 6 months. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening to this video. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can find all that information below this video. I'd love to work with you. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.